Hello there. So I'm going to do a couple of videos not related to the Mandela effect for a change of pace. This first one goes with a shout out to one of my subscribers, Mike Blake, who has a blog that deals with UFOs and the Mandela effect. He reminded me of some occurrences which happened to me many years ago regarding UFOs. So that's what this is going to be about. Way back when I had yet to become a mother, my boyfriend and I had gotten a third job between the two of us. We decided to do a rural newspaper delivery job. I absolutely hated the Sunday morning papers. They were huge, and you had to get up at 4 a.m. to begin the deliveries. And then to top it off, we were driving a manual car at the time to drop off the papers in people's boxes. Talk about fun. Anyhow, one Sunday morning, it was a warmer time of year, and I remember having the windows open and feeling that early morning warm, misty air going through the car. We were driving in a longer stretch of a backcountry road where we had a bit of a distance to go between the mailboxes. I remember having my head tilted back in the passenger seat looking out towards the field and up at the sky as we drove along. I normally like to look at the stars, but there weren't any stars out that night, which kind of was boring. There was like low-hanging clouds, and I then saw this light shine down into the field beside me. It was shining down from out of the clouds, and I watched it for a few seconds listening, because my first instinct was that it was a helicopter, like the ones you see in the movies when the helicopter is using the spotlight shining down as if it's searching for something. But as I listened, I didn't hear any sounds. Nothing. So I told my boyfriend to slow down and listen and asked him if that was a helicopter or what was it. We both listened and still heard nothing. So he stopped the car. No worries at that time of the morning. There's no traffic. The light kept shining down into the field, but there was not a single sound to be heard. I strained to see up into the clouds to find the source, but I couldn't see anything except for that light shining down from the clouds. And just as we were really getting perplexed, that light seemed to go up and then was gone. And still without a sound. That was it. Nothing else happened that I'm aware of, and then we went about our business. A few years later, we were married, had 2 children, bought a small house on an acre and a half of land. We didn't live in the same area, but we had moved to another part of the state. My husband at the time worked third shift, which really sucked. One day, my son, who was about 4 years old at the time, he showed me a picture that he had drawn. It was a little hard to tell what was going on in the picture, except that I could see he had drawn our house. He told me that was our home and we were sleeping, and above it was another house that had come down over our house. And on the bottom of the other house there were lights that were shining onto our house. He told me that at night this house would come down over our house. Now that kind of freaked me out a little. I thought, what? Why would my little boy draw such a thing? Where would he get this notion? During this same time period, he would also wake up every night terrified. His bedroom was on the other side of the house as our bedroom, and every night he would be awakened by some sort of nightmare, and he would just be screaming, blood-curdling screams as he ran towards my bedroom. He would jump into bed with me and then fall asleep, shaking in my arms. Were they related? I don't know. It went on for about a year or so before he stopped having these nightmares, or whatever they were. On one final note, I always had this little scar on the inside of my left wrist. It's about 1.5 inches below my hand. I always wondered how I got it. It's a perfect circle, and I thought perhaps it maybe was a chickenpox scar or something. Then, when my daughter was a teenager, we were talking about something, and she mentioned that she had a scar on her wrist and asked me how she had gotten it. She showed me, and it was identical in appearance as mine in the exact same spot. We both thought that was a little bit too coincidental and a little weird, but I suppose it is possible for both of us to have an accidental scar in the same spot. I don't know. So, just 2 of my stories that may or may not be related to UFOs or something paranormal. They were really strange and freaky occurrences, and I have thought about them throughout my life, so thought I would share. Have any of you guys had weird experiences like these? If so, I would love to hear about them. Go ahead and comment about anything weird that's happened to you. Feel free to share. And on that note, I hope that you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.